Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back to another episode. Please listen and don't be a chode. Be nice, be kind to everyone else, but we won't be nice to you.
Welcome back. That was beautiful, Brian. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. You should release an album.
That's okay. I don't want to do all that.
I can be an investor in your album if you'd like.
Just sell my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's not about talent. Always remember that. It's never about talent.
When you learn that, it's not fun anymore. Can't even listen to music without going. Damn it! But
I love you, you love me.
Barney sold his soul too.
I sold my soul to be a drag queen. Oh.
Is it? I don't know.
Well, that kind of fits the theme of...
Now I'm going to think of all the stuff that I used to watch as a kid. Anyways.
That's why my childhood was more pure.
You're pure.
There was not, Gilligan's Island, even though they were having all orgies. And Brady Bunch.
Pure guys.
Brady Bunch, man, they were stepkids, so who knows what they were doing. 8 is enough, 8.5 sometimes. Mork and Mindy, talk about interspecies going on.
Oh my god.
There was all kind of stuff.
You guys, if you haven't realized yet, we have a theme for our episode.
Interspecies
no,
sex.
Please, no. It is with a heavy heart that I must vent, and Brian too, about some of the things that we have seen or been watching through reels, reading
It doesn't stop.
articles. The only thing I get, like I was telling Brian before we started recording, the only pro of all the things we're going to discuss is that these people are getting caught and exposed. But I told Brian, at what cost? Because it's sad.
The cost of kids, and this
Yeah.
always circles back to me because even though part of what we talk about is related to Epstein, one of the little stories, most of these other ones have nothing to do with that Epstein, that whole world, and that's why people don't care.
Does it?
They don't care.
You don't think those people are in the same network?
Oh, but you know what I mean, as far as the public outrage, because it's still
that's the
release
thing.
the Epstein file, release the Epstein file again because one person you think is on there, but not because anyone actually cares about
right
any of the victims and any of the horrors. But then we have some examples here, and it's like it's gonna be stuff that no one's ever thought about, heard of, and probably will cut off the episode early because they just aren't gonna want to care to listen.
Yeah, have fun. Bye. So one of the things that the first story that I heard, and it kind of hit close to me because this was one of my occupations.
That's right. That's right.
And I was like, wow. Was the headline for this is male bus driver who goes by Miss Sharon charged with sexually abusing multiple boys. Goddamn.
And I saw the picture, and
oh yeah,
dude in a wig.
Miss Sharon. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it.
Well, if you're listening,
yeah, but the YouTubers, Miss Sharon looks real good, doesn't she? Anyways.
It's I won't play that game. That's
I mean,
no. That's why I can never play that game.
I just say it because.
And if that makes me hateful,
to distinguish the character.
Yeah, but that's the delusion and that's the mental illness for me.
Lee Twain Darrell Tate, also known as Sharon or Miss Sharon, 48, is facing numerous charges for allegedly sexually assaulting 2 teens while working as a Sugar Creek charter school bus driver in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's a charter school, wow. The children were found to be staying at his house.
Wonderful.
And one of them claimed Tate offered him money in return for sex. An arrest affidavit obtained by the WCNC read that information. But so he was a school bus driver. So these are underage. I mean, they're students. They're underage.
Yeah.
Oh wait. None of the alleged crimes occurred on school property. So what? He's an employee.
Oh, that's okay.
Never mind. I know, right? Tate. Here's a description. Tate, who is listed as 5'7" and 210 pounds, was sent to the jail where he was being held on $1 million bond. Now, that number should stand out because when we talk about bonds, the higher it is, the more that means, at least in my eyes or my understanding, that means they found shit that you're guilty.
That and I think he's just gonna take off. He's gonna get he's gonna get in his magic bus. Mm-hmm. The wheels will go round and round, and he'll be out of there.
Right, and so his family is insisting that he's innocent of the charges. And the neighbors also were like saying that they were like amazed, like it's disturbing that they're hearing this. And I was like, you're neighbors. You fucking telling me you didn't see these two kids hanging out with him?
At the house?
Yeah, at the house and you're the neighbor?
You didn't see this bunch of kids were coming into a dude's house wearing a wig.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
And all because, okay, let's say Miss Sharon was nice to her neighbors, but like, you don't think that's kind of weird? I mean, nosy neighbors, I guess not. I can say many things about it, but I won't because I'll be called every phobe in the... Then
tell me, write it down, I'll say it, because I really don't give a crap.
I remember seeing the video, and it was a black neighborhood, and I'm like, okay, so they're just covering for each other because they don't want the statistic, a black man arrested, or a black trans woman arrested, because that's what all this is about. People hide the truth, or will hide someone who is guilty, because they don't want that headline, that stereotype, that
demographic they don't want.
And it's our own fault because we have allowed this, and we've allowed the media and the politics to come into play with this when it should just be about what's right and wrong. Because look at this, like I said, with the neighbors going, well, like we never heard anything. We're like shocked, and I'm like, are you really? Because I would be like, why do you have who are those teenage boys? Is that like you would question it. And that's what this commentator that I saw who actually reported on it said. He's like, I don't understand why the neighbors didn't like say anything. He's like, because I'm sure they saw things.
I was gonna say, did it say how they found out, or?
I think the boys were.
The kids said something?
Yeah, the kids said some things, of course.
Or they just don't have homes or something? And that's what.
Well, yeah. Well, so, like, if you do something like this with... I mean, it's just like every fucking Lifetime movie. With, like, the teacher that, like, takes in... Or, like, has a liking to some student or whatnot. And they always get caught because they're out eating together. Or they, like, bring them to the house because they're, like, a runaway. Or they're having issues with their parents. And it's like boundaries are crossed. But you, as a human being, you can see that. You think as a bus driver, you don't play favorites? Like... You don't think they realize, oh, Miss Sharon likes these set of boys, or like they're always hanging out and stuff like that? Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just hard. I feel like people they just don't realize what the hell's going on around them.
That's boys. He didn't go for any girls.
Right.
He didn't go for anything. It's just.
And kids are gonna talk. They're not. And just like this freaking article, like they just. What is it, like a less than 2-minute read? Oh, that's all they said. 14, 15-year-olds can be so impressionable at that age. To think someone would take advantage of that is very alarming, one of the neighbors said. Like, this is the article, guys. That's it. What was that, like less than a 2-minute read?
It's alarming.
And so, I'm pretty sure it's because this person is quote-unquote trans. That's why they're just like, oh, hush, hush. We'll do a headline, but like we won't talk much about it.
I'm sure it's a local site,
No, it's this. I won't say it.
Oh.
Usually they have laundry list articles. But this is not the first bus driver. There was another bus driver, I want to say within the last 6 months, who called their bus the Lolita Express. And people had videos of like parents saying, "What the fuck is this? Why do you have that?" And he was dressed up in like a schoolgirl outfit, and it was a man. And I was like, "Where the school? Like you should be like, no, you can't do this. That's not professional."
But they're not allowed to.
No, I guess not.
Because they'll be called phobic, and they'll get a lawsuit because that agenda is more important. You're right. It's more important than the health and safety of kids. is to protecting his
Yeah.
delusion.
Yeah, but and then because of that video going viral, finally that bus driver got fired. And I'm like, so it takes people to speak. That's a perfect example. It takes people to speak up, and then something's done. But
or someone to get hurt or abused or molested.
Right.
Yeah.
But how sad that you have to wait for that.
But otherwise, you can't assume they're going to be. Even though, what have we said the whole time when it comes to that movement? That's why we talked about before we recorded how the LBG want to get rid of the T.
Yeah.
They want a divorce because that was a gateway, if you will. Not again, never 100%, never everybody. There's good people out there, but that was a gateway to pedophilia. That was the next one.
It so was, and
the youth attracted person was the next movement.
And who is it that is she running for governor? I don't even know her name because she's disgusting, and she really thinks people forget or like don't care her behavior. That dumb ass governor that's running to take Newsom's place, that she's like
yelling and cussing.
Yelling and cussing at everyone. She can't do a fucking interview with the news anchor because she thinks they're attacking her. She's just fucking rude and bitter. But also, like a while back, she was saying that MAPS, minor attracted person, like basically justifying it, and saying because they haven't committed a crime just yet, like that's what she was insinuating, that they're not criminals. What do you mean they're not criminals?
That's why we go back.
They're minor attracted people.
That's why we're going back to when we talked about dolls and sex bots. They want to consider making minors, making childs, so that they will have those AI.
No, in the AI, they want it. They think that'll be okay, and I'm like,
just let them have their ChatGPT girlfriend or boyfriend that's 10 years old, and it'll keep them off the streets from doing it for real. And it's because we're slowly letting it's like everything else. It's slowly getting that numbness that society has to get to before we just allow like these things to happen, and we do that by just it's okay. It's not that big. He was cut, no one was hurt. It's just a sign. Right. It's just it's. And then next thing you know, you got bus drivers all over the country molesting their kids, or you got like the German drag queen that I had. It was being raided for. I didn't even read the whole story. You can keep. I gotta look at it.
Okay, so speaking of drag queens, like we've said this multiple times. Me personally, I've known drag. Oh, man, see, this is what I'm talking about. I think this is why it's built up on me. Is because back to back to back, I literally told Brian, was it 2 weeks ago or last week, that I saw one of my coworkers' friend was arrested because he engaged with a minor, and he's a drag queen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I could not believe it because that hit close to home. I didn't know this friend, but I knew the coworker. And so it kind of like connected really close to me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And like I'm sure, it's in Phoenix. They had him on the news. And then I could say what club he works at, but like they kicked him out of the Pride celebration in Phoenix because it didn't align with their views. And I'm like, good. At the same time, I'm like, are you gonna let him perform? I just feel like it's like a quick cover up to just make sure that
or just
Pride
for this year.
Yeah,
just for
Pride
this year.
is just okay. But like, at what point are you gonna be like, okay, can we stop? Can we stop doing this? Like, can we speak up and say like, hey, you guys stop fucking around with minors? Like,
that's their addiction.
So
that's their mental illness.
That's one drag queen. That's it. Was in Phoenix, and then I saw a video of, I think it was on the Jimmy Kimmel show. From one of the videos I saw here, it said a week ago. I don't know if it necessarily is a week ago. Trixie Mattel is on there, and they're doing, I guess, like a skit, or I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. And the first thing that
you're Kimmelphobic. Okay, go ahead.
I'm phobic of all those late night shows. I think it's ridiculous. They're not. They're horrible.
Nobody's funny.
Yeah. So she gets on there, and there's kids, and she's reading a book to the kids or something. She's like, do I scare you guys? And of course the kids are like, no. And then one kid is like, oh my god, no. Like, why? You're beautiful. You're pretty. Like, you're amazing. You're fabulous. And I'm like, and what does Trixie Mattel say? Thank you. That's so validating. And I told Brian, what the fuck?
You need a kid to validate you?
So that just, how many times have we said that? You need to be validated?
Yeah,
Is that why all this uproar and like speaking out?
Because they don't know who or what they are.
Right, but what I'm saying is, the whole point is, why are you saying that as a grown-ass adult in drag, telling a child, I feel so validated? No, like, oh my gosh.
I feel so validated that I am living completely opposite of who I am.
Yeah, I can't get with it. I don't know. Maybe I need to like go out and talk to drag queens here in Phoenix and be like, do you go and want to hang out with kids? Like, what is it? Do you want to do story time?
How many times have you seen on the reels that when they show the behind, like a mom or someone's doing behind this like scenes camera footage, like sneaking camera footage, and these drag shows are just these guys in thongs and tassels and
because that's a drag show,
and that's it's like, and all the kids around the pride clips we've seen of naked parades down the street and twerking in front of little kids, and
that's the PG version.
They just, you're right, they can't. That's why I said people are turning on the whole movement, and because you can't leave the kids alone.
Yeah.
If this was just like you're just performing, you're going to Jimmy Kimmel, you're just gonna hang out, maybe do a little lip sync, do a performance, or show off your outfits or something. People are like, okay, cool, great performatives, great performance, but it's always children.
Yeah, I asked the intern, I think last week, I said, did you ever see RuPaul in like some skimpy ass shit?
I don't even know what RuPaul's body looks like.
I'm not talking about like years back when he first was doing drag shows and talk show hosts. I'm talking about the RuPaul Drag Race shows now. Like when we watched them when they first came out, RuPaul was always in like a ball gown.
Mm-hmm.
Never like with just tassels.
It's costumes.
Yeah, but that's what drag is. It's like, like they look phenomenal.
Performance art,
Yeah, and then I'm looking at the drag nowadays and I'm just like, you're half naked, like you said, half naked.
Yeah, the
pasties.
In the elementary schools, it's not drag.
Yeah.
It's not. It's BDSM almost. It's those.
Yeah.
It's those kind of outfits, and and then we wonder why these stories pop up between that and the one I found, because I don't even know where to go with it anymore. I'm like you. I'm just dumbfounded by this point. It's like and it's not in the mainstream. It's not. That's what bothers me. And I sat here before, right as we started, to Google the story, the German one, and it's like I can't find.
Yeah, stuff is getting scrubbed from the internet as well, and it's not. It's just to fit a narrative, and it's horrible.
This one's interesting because it's a prominent German drag queen who frequently rubs shoulders with celebrities and politicians.
Oh.
Is being investigated for possessing and distributing child sexual abuse material. The name Jurassica Parka. It's like, come on, you can't. You don't even know who you are in terms of your drag persona either, because you're making your drag persona an existing IP and movie out that you can't just say
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Dinosaur Park.
And it's a dude. Got raided. Police searched the apartment. After a trip from the U.S.-based National Center for Missing and Exploited Children linked the entertainer's IP address to suspected child pornography access and storage.
Oh my God.
They've seized all of the electronic devices for analysis, but no formal charges have been filed. And this person who's, like I said, been with Berlin's mayor, with celebrities, with high-ranking politicians.
Then that makes sense. Why he had all that material.
Yeah.
Politicians, high-ranking stars and stuff like that,
and it's a 2-minute read. It's a really small article.
Isn't it like amazing? I was like ready to be like, what else? And nothing.
It's just this is what he's accused of. They seized all of his property, but no charges have been filed.
Right.
So that leads you to say, well, okay, well then nothing must have been found. What are you complaining about?
I bet you because it's drag and it's trans. Because
just like all the shootings that pop up when they find out that that's who the shooter is, they immediately move on to the next story.
Yeah.
Because they can't admit that, again, while there are good people out there just living a life of whatever through femininity or through masculinity or whatever they feel like they are.
The real trans people.
Yeah. There is an mental health epidemic with this.
Yes.
This movement is created by making people out there who are confused about what they are, who they are, and if I just become this, everyone's going to leave me alone. I just say I'm trans. I just say I'm drag. no one's allowed to say shit to me
And
because
have to go do it
I can be. You're phobic. You're phobic. Oh my gosh! Look at the trans flags that are flying all over the place. It's like, and again, for every person I like, the volleyball player I knew.
Yeah.
For the one or someone in work, there's a couple people that I worked with that, I mean, they were just living their life. You know, one of them was like, you're an obvious dude, but you're being feminine. You're living a feminine life. That's how I look at it. You know, we've talked about this before, where I think there's a difference between biology and identity. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
What are you biologically, genetically? But if you're wanting to live identity-wise as the opposite, and you're not harming anyone, and no kids are being involved, nobody cares. But these are the things. It's opened a door to locker rooms, gyms, changing facilities. I was listening to a story on the way in of a girl who was a New York activist. I guess she got assaulted and nothing happened to the person that assaulted her. But she started this path when she was in ballet class in New York, and there was a boy, and they're changing fully. She goes, and everybody's like just looking at this thing just dangling there because, again, that doesn't change because that boy is saying, well, I'm a girl, and it's always boys being girls. Very rarely you never hear the story of anyone. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Of a girl doing this to men. This is always men doing this, and always to boys. It's either they're exposing themselves to girls, but a lot of the sexual abuse cases and pornography cases, it's always boys. Yeah. And and we knew that this would become a mental health epidemic. Because we're affirming the trans and gender dysphoria is the only mental health issue which we affirm it. Like if you got schizophrenia, we don't say, "No, you're right. You got all these personalities. You got dissociative disorder. It's okay. Yeah. Just get along with everybody. No one's gonna bother you. Just live your life. You got extreme depression. We don't say, yeah, you have every right to be depressed. Just be depressed. Just do your own thing. Stay in your corner. Drink as much as you want. You know, anxiety. Yeah, be anxious. Here's all the pills." But we don't affirm it. We therapy. We try to help them. We regulate them. We try to get them on a better path. Try to get them past or control their issues. But when it comes to this issue, the trans and the gender dysphoria, we have to affirm it as, okay, that's just who they are, or I don't want to be mean. Mm-hmm. And we don't do anything to say, why do you feel like you are this? Or why do you feel like you're attracted to this? Why do you feel like you can't be a boy or you can't be a girl? Especially when they're 8, 9, 10, and we're, destroying their bodies for ever. Now, we know why, because how do you make a whole generation infertile? You push an abortion and transgender, but that's a whole different podcast topic. But
it's true. And look at the article I posted on our Instagram stories. Like, there's been a huge decrease now in the non-binary and trans identity amongst minors. Because, and the article said, like, because it was treated as a trend, it seems like it was no longer a trend. And I'm like, how long have we been saying that? For years, we've been saying that.
And again, for some reason, that being a fad is hateful. Anything else being a fad in life is, you're right, we go through phases in life. But when it comes to that, don't you dare. Yeah. No.
But what did I say when I posted that? You said it's a mental health epidemic. But they continue to push that mental health epidemic because now all those people, how do you think they feel? How do you think this is right now?
Oh, and they're going to need medication.
They're going, right. And if they did top surgery, if they went under the knife, if they went through hormone therapy, there is no going back. No matter how many times John Van Ness from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy says it's totally fine, it's reversible, or whoever celebrity said it's totally fine, it's reversible. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because if that was true,
that streamer Destiny was causing so much problems.
I would be able to take estrogen and reverse my age, reverse my looks. You would be able to take testosterone and like reverse it. Although I do think with testosterone it does help.
It helps. It helps you feel stronger, get more energy, but doesn't reverse anything.
Right.
I'm still who I am.
But, like, seriously, it's use some common sense.
Oh, and once a girl goes, especially for the girls, once they go through it and they don't hit puberty, they can't become fertile.
And the boys, too.
The boys, too. Once you've turned that off, that doesn't come, and you're letting them do it at 12 and 13. Again, you won't let them
Some
get a
as
tattoo.
young as
You don't want them.
7.
You won't let them get a tattoo. You won't let them have a drink. You won't let them smoke. You won't let them drive a car. You won't let them do anything. But you will let them destroy their bodies permanently to be a big pharma customer for life.
And I cannot believe that these parents do not realize how barbaric it is for boys wanting to become girls. They don't realize. You know what the quickest hormone therapy they give them is that thing they inject in the arm.
Okay.
It's like an estrogen. It's like birth control, and it's this stick this long. And the way they have to insert that is literally like a stapler, but it's like this long
like the
stainless
IUDs?
steel. No.
Okay.
Oh my God! If they do that I'm sure they do that to the girls who want to be boys. And the IUD is like the worst thing ever. Personal experience, worst thing ever. And but yeah, that's barbaric too because the procedure to get an IUD, what they have to do, is barbaric and it's painful. You can ask any woman who's giving birth, and I guess women who give birth, it's not as painful. But like in general, the tools they use for these things is barbaric. And like if you're a parent, and I've seen the videos where the boys are like, "Mom, please, I'm just scared. I'm scared." They're scared, but they really want to go through this. And the parents are like, "It's fine, it's fine." Then you have the nurses holding their arms, "It's fine," and they're sticking like this fucking needle that's thick, stainless steel needle under the arm and shooting that estrogen tube or whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool, bro. You're doing that to children. But again, everything revolves around children and like damaging them because what else are
well, that's the German one. Like I said, it was new because it caught my attention because
so we have two drag queens getting in trouble, arrested, right?
Yeah.
They were arrested.
Yeah.
One of them, I'm like, why are you even talking and saying you're validated? Yeah. And now a trans person, and then did you have another one?
Not the transaction was the L'Oreal girl.
Oh, okay. Let me tell you this one about this one here.
Yeah, if you got another one, go for it.
I'm smiling, not because it's funny. It's just because it's atrocious.
And this will be one of the episodes that probably gets the lowest amount of traffic.
Yeah.
Because people have probably already rolled their eyes and said, "I don't want to hear it."
Yeah, and you should be like,
but you're gonna hear it.
You should be like, wow, why haven't we heard about this? So
and we want you to be uncomfortable because that's the whole point.
Yeah. So this was very recent. An ex-porn star by the name of Austin Wolf.
Oh, I know his work.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Are you serious? Oh, I was like, because apparently he's like a huge gay porn star.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And I have no idea. I don't. So, anyways, this ex-porn star Austin Wolf was
He doesn't have a micro penis. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure he doesn't. I don't know.
Okay.
Sentenced to 19 years in jail for sickening child sex crimes. So he was a formerly gay porn star. He had a laundry list. Look at the description. Laundry list of nauseating child sex crimes, including his attempt to rape a 7-year-old child. 7. So his real name is Justin Heath Smith. He's 44. He tearfully admitted in court that he sexually abused a 15-year-old boy, and they're saying his crimes against children are horrible. Okay, yeah, we know this. He targeted kids as young as 7, and every New Yorker wants him. Oh, and it's in New York where P. Diddy is. Like, everything happens in New York. This is disgusting. Wants him and those like him off the streets for as long as possible and never near our children. Do you? Because when Epstein was over there in New York, no one gave a fuck. No one gave a fuck. And now all of a sudden you do? Smith admitted he and another adult man had sex with a 15-year-old in 2023, and that he had intercourse 3 times with another person who he believed was 15 years old as well. But in fact, thankfully, that person was an adult. But the fact that he believed he was 15, that's the sickening part. This guy fantasized about having relations with minors. Yeah. And it was as low as 7. He even was quoted in a video that I saw that he told, or like someone who actually had relations with this guy who was of age, was a twink. That's another thing now. All this shit's gonna come out and people are gonna be like, shutting this shit down. There's a reason why they have these things called twinks, because they look like young little boys, which is sickening now that you correlate all that. I guess someone he acted with said that his friend said, yeah, he had said that he wished he had a son so he could do these atrocious things to his son.
It's like the House of Horrors.
And and I condemn that person for not speaking up and maybe saying something like that to the police, because that could have been, this maybe more things could have been avoided, more tragic incidents. Just prior to getting arrested in 2024, Smith tried to meet up with a father of a 7-year-old, oh my god, who offered to allow him to sexually abuse the child. Oh my god! That's disgusting.
It is.
Where's that father? Arrest him.
How are they finding? Is this all dark web stuff?
Smith was found to be in possession of 1,291 computer files that contain child sex and abuse material.
Oh my gosh.
In 2024 January, the former star made plans with another adult man to sexually abuse a 9-year-old who was caring for the child, and then backed out when the star was waiting downstairs for them. Where's that man? That man needs to go to jail as well. 1 month later, Smith chatted with a 14-year-old and invited him to his New York home in order to have sex, but that encounter never occurred. Thank God. Smith also solicited child sex abuse material from at least one minor and multiple people who claimed to be minors, including one online user who identified as just 12 years old. The search warrant for Smith's home revealed he was in possession of all those files, so close to 1,300, containing child pornography, including 75 files showing, are you ready? Infants and toddlers.
Of course.
Infants and toddlers. And some videos depicting violent rape. Smith was sentenced to 19 years in prison and received a $40,000 fine. Not good enough.
Why isn't this like a triple life sentence?
Yeah, why?
19 years?
I'm not laughing because this is funny, but the justice system,
so he gets,
atrocious.
He gets out and gets to go on Social Security and just live out his days.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He could retire
and
probably do it again behind closed doors because, he'll probably
and
find a way.
apparently there's a big enough community to allow this to happen because we don't actually have outrage about this stuff. It's just politicized. It's just
so
Epstein.
Disgusting.
It's just show that he's on the Epstein list. Just show he's on the Epstein, and then we see all this stuff.
No one, not a word.
And,
It was the twink's fault.
he wasn't
Minors
porn.
are so...
He wasn't porn, so what do you expect?
That's a good excuse. Yeah, I
because
totally
there have been times I've had kind of these conversations, and people and I don't know why they will bust out the excuse or the dismissive attitude of.
Hell no, I'd be like, let's find him.
Because it's like anytime you ever somebody go for a 7-year-old or infant, you should just be absolutely disgusted. Your mind should never turn to something that covers it or defends it or it should just be like, this is sick, disgusting. We need to root this out of our society. It's hard because this has been a part of our human nature in society since the dawn of time, but this is where we need to be fighting. Yeah. This is where the protests need to be hitting. This is where our law enforcement dollars should be. This is where we should have all these task forces. Okay, there's this dark web. Okay, whatever, we can't stop it. The internet's there. We can't. We should have. I don't know if they do. Do they have cybercrime units where they infiltrate the dark web and find out? I mean, they have to.
According to these hackers, because I've watched a few interviews with hackers, and they're like, "What's the darkest thing you've seen on the dark web?" And it all relates to this that we've talked about, which is disgusting. And he said that they change so much and so frequent that it's hard to track
Oh.
And at the same time, I think that's an excuse. Like, not on the hacker's part, because the hacker can only do so much.
Right.
But I think it's an excuse in regards to the FBI, the Child Exploitation Unit, the cybercrime unit, because they're all in on it too. So here's my biggest thing, and you tell me if I'm not making sense, but stories like these, like especially this porn star, so many encounters with children. You're fucking telling me the fact that no one's outraged or like shouting at the rooftops like fuck this guy, YouTube demonetizing videos of anyone talking about this guy, no one going against YouTube for that, no one saying like get this guy on the stand and like tear him to shreds. No one realizes that these people are all connected. Like everyone's the Epstein list. Yeah, we know why they say that, because they want to see their politicians they hate on there.
Yeah.
But the Epstein list is this man who meets other adults that have children. That's what Epstein was. He had children, and he had connections with all these other disgusting, vile human beings who had children, who had young underage women, young boys. I mean, all these countries, Morocco.
There's a worldwide pedophile ring.
Yeah.
Macron, France, everything.
So if you are saying Epstein list, you better be fucking outraged over these stories, and you should be like, get information from this guy. You think this guy doesn't have information on all these people that he met up with? All these files that he was sharing with other people or getting from?
He's got
those are the people you need
files.
to go after. I mean, it's all connected. That's how I see it. All of this, it's a ring. They all know each other. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, you literally, it's like joining a cigar club. You join a cigar club, everyone's going to know everyone. Who makes this cigar? Oh, I get it from this person. Everyone knows everyone. But no, the Epstein list. And the Epstein list is people like this. They probably know someone who's on that list.
The German one. Politicians.
They all know. Yeah.
It's like Eyes Wide Shut. They all know it, even though when they
the
wear their
royal
masks.
family is on the Epstein
That's
list.
why they said the Eyes Wide Shut movie was very an indictment of that, of like of that what goes on in that elite world.
That was straight up telling you what happens.
It tells you what happens, but we don't care. Like we talked about the first stories with people in the trans community, and people would probably, if I just already know from the people that might follow us, they would be more mad at us for saying these things about trans people than what these people are actually doing.
Yeah,
it's that justifying it, because we'll say over and over and over, we don't care about the average person living their true life.
Yeah, these aren't real trans people.
But this movement to not be able to question or see or investigate because we don't be phobic is creating an entirely new subset of predatory behavior, because they're using their mental illness and their delusion of who they are, what they are,
and their power
to go after.
Use his power and name, and not only that, the fact as one of the commentators I watched speak about this actor, he said, I have to use my platform, because he's a gay man too. He's like, I have to use my platform to express how disgusting this is. And like you said, how they're like, oh, well, he's in porn and like it's No, this should not. What kind of human are you to say this is expected? What the fuck do you mean this is expected? I know. No, this actually, what this fucker did is the same reason back in like the 90s people were so against gay people, because they're like, oh, these gay men, they're just gonna go after children. You're proving them fucking right, and we're going backwards in time, because all these sick individuals who say they are this gender or
they're
this
hiding
and that,
behind
it's sick
movement,
people. Yeah. It's not the actual genuine people that should. I mean, you shouldn't even be categorized in anything. Just live your fucking life. But it's these people that are putting these masks on, and they're like, yeah, I'm trans, or yeah, I'm gay, I'm non-binary, and really you're just pedophiles. You're sick individuals, and they're trying to. They've succeeded because they are in that community. They've just walked in.
And because they're not allowed to be removed, because again, the narrative is you're not allowed to speak out against it. You're just not, because then you're a hateful, bigoted person, because you can't accept them for who they are, even if they hurt children.
Even if they hurt children, we're gonna be like, that's fine. That's what they want.
It's kind of
because you ask them, and they're like, well,
they don't differentiate. They don't differentiate because like if the 1% or whatever the population that's trans or 2%, it's I don't even know what the percentage is, but it seems like we're finding more and more of these stories.
Yeah,
between violence and shootings and now this, and it's making it hard for the average person on the street just wanting to live their normal, peaceful life.
Yeah.
To do so, and then you see it like we go to events and we see some booths and they have a trans flag and you're like, and it's like I shouldn't think that way because there's probably someone good. There's someone good behind that flag. Why they're putting that flag up there, but I can't help it because there's all these people.
And you're saying hard. That as a straight man. And I say that as a gay woman.
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes. But no one cares. Like, no one cares.
We're just supposed to just blindly accept it.
We're everything.
This would probably lose us, like I said, very specific followers if they hear us. But oh well. I will never...
I don't care. I stand in my truth.
When it comes to this, I do too.
This is something that we should not be making excuses for. And the justice system, given these minor sentences... Like the P. Diddy. Go ahead with your... What about P. Diddy? Which I gave up.
I was going to go with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Because we're talking about Epstein. What about
the Diddy thing? I didn't really find much. So apparently someone put a knife to his throat in his prison cell, threatened him.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised because he's treated like a celebrity there.
Yeah, and now people are like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. He's trying to angle for something. So
he's trying to get out early.
As I read it, I was like, okay. No, but while all this stuff's going on, as far as all our political outrage and protests and no kings and, oh my gosh, he's renovating the East Wing because the East Wing's being renovated again. At least there's no bowling alleys or pools being put in this time.
That's more important than these stories that we just covered.
There's 300 pages. Now, I didn't know if I'm going to read through this.
300 pages?
The House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, which, again, it's hard right now because they're shut down.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. The files, included more 300 pages from Maxwell's interviews. They released following a subpoena approved in July after bipartisan pressure for access to the so-called Epstein Files committee chair. I don't care about the people. Said the volume of material delayed the handover beyond the committee's initiative. Again, we don't want to do it. All this stupid shit about us. Well, we had to delay it here. We had to delay it there.
We don't care.
And then 3 judges actually said, no, you're not allowed to deny it. And then they take a vote on it saying no. And then when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the Senate voted to not release the Epstein files as well. Maxwell's key claims in interview. Maxwell was told that she never saw Donald Trump in any inappropriate settings. She never saw him in any inappropriate settings. Like I said again. She said the former president was not a client of Epstein and had no involvement in the financier's activities, which we've all been saying. Epstein tried. They were buddies because they were both weird, and Trump took flights back and forth from New York to Florida. But then when he found out Epstein was hitting on teenage girls at his club of staff members, he kicked him out of the club and said, I don't want to do business with you ever again. But before that, just like a lot of people were friends of Diddy until they found out what he was doing, because that's what they do. She rejected claims about former President Bill Clinton. Maxwell said she never saw him receive a massage and only recalled his presence during flights because Bill was very careful with what he did. It was always behind closed doors. Asked about the possibility of a client list, Maxwell said no such record existed. There is no list, she told investigators. Her counsel reaffirmed the statement when pressed in the interview. She also denied that Trump contributed a message to Epstein's 50th birthday book. She said she reviewed the book during legal proceedings and found no entry from him. Remember when they were all saying that he made some inappropriate drawing or something like that in Epstein's birthday card or birthday book, which his signature was where the bush was on a woman and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she's saying that wasn't real. She said that she did not think Epstein's death was a suicide. I don't think he took his own life. She had no reason to think Epstein was killed in custody. If anyone had wanted to silence him, opportunities existed before his incarceration.
So she thinks he took his life?
No.
Oh, okay.
She said that she didn't think she also didn't think that he probably wasn't even killed in custody. So my guess is that she's saying without saying that she thinks he's not even dead.
Yeah, I believe that. That's a possibility.
This is a different arc. See, when I was watching the Real, because some of these people, they get privy to information and they'll just say it straight up. This is a mainstream media outlet source, so they're gonna but he was saying that there was a lot of talk about child trafficking and 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds to various politicians for different parties and stuff like that. Let's see if it says anything like that.
Real quick, while you're looking at that, I think it's funny. Look, I don't give a fuck if Trump's on that. Like she said, there's no list. I don't know. I don't believe that. There's got to be some kind of catalog of people. It's just like, you know how they say the little black book? I'm pretty sure, unless you have like a digital Rolodex of this, but there's information, whether it be a list or a book or whatever, there's information, connections. But the thing that I think is funny, that everyone's trying to find out if Trump did this, Trump did that. I think we both are on the same page. If he did that shit, get him the fuck out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone who participated in that, I don't care if you're like my favorite. I don't even care if like Elvira participated in it. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Like a Kevin Spacey. He was my favorite actor.
Yeah.
For the longest time, then I found out what he did, and I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
And that Usual Suspects, 7.
Yeah.
And it's like, these are some of my favorite movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of disgusted when I watch them now.
Yep.
Because I don't want to watch, because all I can think about is him abusing these boys, these teenage kids.
Yeah, so we are very, I don't want to say we turn on that, but like, just do what you need to do, the justice for these children. But at the same time, I think it's funny that people are on Trump's ass about this, and yet they look away on Clinton, they look away on the royal family, and at the same time, there is no outrage for Harvard. Harvard, who had an office for Epstein, allowed him to use that office like he was some fucking scholar.
And what country controls Harvard?
But what I'm saying is, do you see how
Harvard,
a prestigious school, allowed this man to have an office with no education?
What country's intelligence agency does Maxwell's father work for?
I know. It's all fucking tight. That's what I'm saying. Like, do I believe the shit she says? No. She's just probably trying to get a pardon. That's all. And like,
so the only thing you could argue is that if she could be protecting Trump because
maybe
Trump's trying to protect Bibi Netanyahu right now by saying he needs
Trump's
pardon.
doing a lot of shit that's like, what the fuck are you doing? With the AI, with this shit, giving money to...
Hey, Israel, you need to pardon Bibi even though he's under investigation for corruption of war crimes. Yeah, and then hey,
I realized, like, what the hell?
And then hey, Pfizer, let's have a little press conference.
I know. I'm like, God, what is going on? It's evil in this world.
So it just doesn't
They're trying so hard, and I really hope that the good prevails, but it's not looking good because you want to talk about... I mean, I was telling Brian I saw a video of AOC and Bernie Sanders, and I don't care what... They could be Republican for all I care. They could be any independent. They could be anything, and the things they say, I was like, you are not for the American people. When will... And people are seeing it. But I'm just like, guys... I don't know.
They'll still go out there and vote for him. They'll still vote for him.
And I'm just like, guys.
Because they won't be given a choice to vote for anyone else.
And those two, they probably know people who do this shit, the children. They get funding from them, guaranteed. They're all associated.
And this goes all the way back to how Hillary Clinton got her Senate seat. Because JFK Jr. was so popular in New York. Yeah. And he was going to win that seat. And suddenly his plane went down and he crashed despite him being an expert pilot. Yeah. And then Hillary basically ran unopposed and won that Senate seat. It was just all downhill from there.
It's funny how things work out like that.
Anyone who bucks the system or tries to fix or work the system to make it for the people, they're immediately eliminated.
Yeah.
Anyone who could bring awareness or fight or buck the narrative.
Yeah.
They're just, I mean, why do you think they wanted MLK to kill himself for so long? They didn't want that civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Democrats fought against that their entire existence. Well, so suddenly now, but...
The last thing I want to say, and I can never remember, is it Prince Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay, Prince Andrew recently has been making headlines that he got all his royalties removed. And everyone's like, yeah, this isn't new information. Yeah, it isn't new information. And those comments, I'm like, what are you doing about it? You're not being vocal about it. But I really think that man killed Virginia.
I wouldn't be
I think he
surprised.
sent people because he was trying so hard to find information about her
No.
because she came out with that book, and he's like, we have to.
Because as soon as
Let's
she
get rid of
died,
her.
they changed basically 3/4 of the book.
And now his shit's getting removed is
Yeah.
because they probably figured they found
and
something.
they're like, well, we don't want her to talk about, or we don't want all this stuff coming out about the relationship with her husband and the ups and downs and the
That's
abuse.
what he was looking for.
Yeah.
That's what he was looking for. Information against her.
Yeah.
And she ended up. She disappeared.
She's like,
She's
I'm not
gone
suicidal.
now.
I'm not suicidal, and then
Yeah.
she just.
I 100%. I would put, if I had any money, I would put money on him. But he will never get. That poor woman will never get justice.
Her memoir comes out, I think, finally next month.
I don't even know if I have the stomach to read it.
I don't want to now because I know it's not her true words.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You're right. But I hope justice is found. Will there ever be a day that children are not affected?
No, absolutely not.
Because this is such a powerful business.
They're money.
Yeah.
And they're commodities. Between the adrenochrome, between the sacrifices that do happen, because how we have 300,000 kids disappeared during the Biden administration, and they're just never found again. No remains, no bodies, no bones. And how we never talk about Epstein's New Mexico ranch that had underground facilities. Yeah. We talk about his island, which we should. We talk about his Florida home, which where it all started. Down there where like Oprah and all them live, which we should. But it's never mentioned about the New Mexico complex.
And Diddy will be out in, 4 years or less?
Something like that. And the Maui thing, those kids are just gone.
Yeah. And Diddy will keep doing what he's doing.
And yet we'll sit there and have 7 million people across the nation protest for, quote, no kings.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you had a king, you wouldn't be allowed to protest because you wouldn't be able to speak out against your government. So we show that we can get out there and force and protest, but we never protest to protect kids. Protect children.
No, we don't.
Even though someone said, well, we're protecting the illegal immigrant children. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because they were brought over by traffickers.
Which you should be protesting.
Yeah. Why do you think they're always in cages, like in facilities without... All these kids are left without... Because their parents are dead on a trail somewhere.
They were brought in to be used.
Yeah.
And no one cares.
That's why they set up that hotline and 65,000 calls went unanswered. Because they didn't staff it.
Yeah.
Because they don't care. And that's why I'm saying the people out there right now, I see in X land and Facebook land, whining and crying about the East Wing, right? Whining and crying about a ballroom. You want my hot take real quick before we go?
Yeah.
Of the ballroom?
Yeah.
Of this ballroom thing?
Go ahead.
Okay. Because right now...
Do you think it's going to be built and then all the children, the 300,000 children will show up there?
No. I'm going a different direction. Okay.
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, he's going to use this donor money, no taxpayer dollars. He's going to build a ballroom, which in the East Wing is kind of the come on in to the White House. So it's a big, grand entrance for people, whatever. Which, again, it's all about him, but I understand, it was just offices and a parking lot, so what's the big deal? So he's going to put all this stuff up, and the left is going to be so angry, and so that the moment they get a president, the moment if Newsom wins, within 6 months of his first term, he is going to use taxpayer dollars to tear it down and renovate it and make something else. I guarantee you he will. Because they cannot let that sit there because who made it? That's why, they fight for Obamacare, right? Because Obama's name's on it. No matter how disaster it is, no matter how much it's cost, no matter how it's, it's bankrupt the industry, no matter how unaffordable the Healthcare Act is. That comes from insiders. I don't even understand it now. I just know that it's terrible.
I had retired people in the bank telling me Obamacare is the worst thing ever.
It's the worst thing, and he shut down the government to get it passed, which a lot of people forget. But that's why it can't be repealed, because it's got his damn name on it. This because Trump is going to be doing it. I'm sure there's going to be a plaque or something in there that commemorates Trump building it. The first Democrat that gets into office is going to use our money to tear it down and do something else. Or strip it away, take out the gold. They're going to make it to a plain, bland, white, ugly building because we're not allowed to celebrate any sort of beauty or any sort of, visualization or any sort of art. Just like when Melania did the Rose Garden thing, immediately just trashed it. Took it away. Because we are at such a petty political position, but when it comes to protecting kids, going through the dark web, trying to find a way. I understand the dark web's a mess, and again, these people are brilliant. They know how to hide. I get it, Chad. I get it. But I always think there's got to be something that we can't. If we really cared,
Yeah.
We would throw resources into it.
Yeah.
If we really care, we wouldn't send money to Pakistan for Drag Queen Hour. Or we wouldn't send money to even, right now, Argentina, which, again, I understood as I read it was kind of more of a currency exchange and to keep their economy stable, which we do all the time. But still, because people were pissed off about Argentina getting $20 or $40 billion. And it's like, well, if you when I read into what it was like, okay, the timing and optics aren't great of it, but it's nothing that we don't do. And you didn't care about the hundreds of billions of dollars went to Ukraine.
Are we getting meat from them too?
I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't know, but
yeah.
Again, the whole circle interact focuses. We should focus on protesting and getting riled up and upset and going to our social media accounts, posting these stories and saying, when are we? Hey, Kash Patel. Hey, Dan Bongino. Hey, DOJ. When are we going to start protecting children? Mm-hmm. Border state governors, border state attorney generals. When are we? Well, I hear cartel paid for Katie Hobbs, so she's not going to do anything. But when are we? But I guess I just answered my question, because as long as the cartels pay for everybody, as long as the traffickers pay for everybody, as long as the NGOs and everybody pay for everybody,
they're all in on it.
They're all in on it. And then it'll always be about. It's always been about children. It's always.
Kash has a girlfriend that's 20 years younger than him. Yeah. You know, who's from Israel. Pam Bondi, I don't know. She's got to be like a.
Well, Catherine Levitt, the press secretary, her husband's like 20 years old. Not that it should matter, because I always.
It doesn't, but when we hear stuff like this, you start looking at these people and go, okay. You know, like, you start insinuating or coming up with theories because they don't do shit.
That's all this is. Like I said, you can sit on your left side of the fence, your right side of the fence, think that you're righteous and the other side's evil.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, both sides.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Both sides. Both sides. But you just don't care when it's your side.
They all know it, too.
I mean, you talk about when the Wiener laptop was found, the Podesta emails, the Alice in Wonderland party, the hot dogs and everything, and cheese pizza from Chicago, $65,000 worth, that come through the tunnels, Pizzagate itself. You don't care. Mm-hmm. You don't. You just, if you're listening, you don't care.
No.
You don't. I wish you did. And I don't know what to do. People say, well, what am I supposed to do about it? I don't know.
Be vocal.
But we can be vocal. You can use every voice. And again, we just show we can put 7 million people on the streets nationwide. Why can't we put 20, 30 million people on the streets to say, let's protect our kids?
Yeah. I'll tell you how to be vocal. You ever go to the airport and see all those signs, human trafficking? Yeah. Say something. You know how many people do this instead?
Yeah.
If you're so TikTok savvy, if you want to go viral and you talk about stupid shit, talk about this. This is more important.
And that's how you can be vocal. We should go. And also, they should be death penalty traffickers.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they should be doing
again.
Worse.
And you put it out there. This is the law now.
Yeah.
So you not just like I've always said with school shootings, make it to where if you fire off one round in a school, you lose all rights, you lose all your humanity, everything. So where they can basically put 80 bullets into you and no one can say a word. And if they do catch you, you're basically publicly executed within a week.
Yeah.
No trial, no jury, no evidence, no social media, no story on you, no exposés.
Yeah.
You're just dead.
Yeah.
And maybe that would be some kind of deterrent to say, well, I'm not going to be known. I'm going to be dead in an hour. So, But if only it mattered. But there's too much money behind it all. So
there is. I mean, you could look at Mexico. The president of Mexico is bought by the cartel, and I mean every country. We could go through the list of countries. Maybe we should do that. Get a map, go through each country, and go, yep, this is it, and then put pins so you guys can see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Just having these conversations is you doing something about it. Bringing up these stories to bring awareness is doing something about it. Reporting stuff like those fucking neighbors that are like, oh, I'm shocked. No, you weren't. You knew about it. You were protecting your own.
And if you see something, stop worrying about if you're going to be called hateful or a bigot or a phobic. Say something.
Yeah.
If you're wrong, you can go apologize. Yeah. If you're wrong about a neighbor or something you see, you can be like, okay, my bad. I was just looking out for someone. But we're so conditioned.
Worried about the children.
We're so conditioned now to not want to speak out because we don't want to be called a name.
Yeah.
Because. Yeah, it's and all those world leaders we talked about in a previous episode that were detained, removed from ballots, put in jail for running, executed. All the populist movement presidential candidates that didn't have a chance because they would have changed these things.
They would have, and I know people are waking up little by little, but we need more of it, and people need to speak up. Speak up.
Well, at least, like I said, stop caring about an East Wing or a king and worry about children.
Yeah.
Those are more important. But I know that takes a lot of changing of your conditioning because your algorithm has beat you to death. So I get it.
Yeah, and it's tough when your algorithm does change over. Like when we did Roblox, dear God,
Oh, I know.
there was so
That's
much.
all I saw
We
for
we
a
learned
week.
so much, and we're still learning stuff. So that's the other thing. As parents, advocate. Be an advocate for children because there's one mom who literally talks about Roblox. That's her whole Instagram. These programs, these games, all this stuff, and they just go from podcast to podcast talking
And
about
she
it.
needs to because there's too many people out there still that are like, well, then,
Yeah.
well, well, and it's like, okay, then
Oh my
then
gosh.
I hope to God you never have kids and you never have
Yeah,
to go
no.
through that.
No.
Just for a or it's just.
You know what's the
I hate
sad
that
part?
sentiment.
The sad part is that we know people like this. We know people
And I
like
know
this, and
some
they
of the
have
people
children.
and some of the people I've known, it's like, okay, I know you're not a bad person. You just don't want to put any effort into thinking about what we would need to do.
Yeah.
You just want status quo. Nobody wants to be challenged. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do.
I hate that.
Except for the developers who could just say, screw it, we're not going to have these things anymore. And you as a game player, you're going to have to adjust.
Yeah.
But who am I? Just some random podcaster.
Who are we? We're V&Brian against the world, and we'll always advocate for children and human trafficking and sex trafficking.
Well, I'll advocate against human trafficking. We're not going to advocate for it.
To save them.
Thank you.
That's what I meant. Don't twist my words, damn it.
I'll twist you up.
And make sure you go outside, get some sun, and touch grass. So, okay, bye!